All right. Hey, good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to What's New in D365 Finance and Supply Chain 10.0.45 version update. Just some agenda to go through. If you have technical or content related questions during the presentation, please use the Q&A window and we will address your questions. This presentation is being recorded and we will send all registrants a link to recording post-webinar. Click the Leave button when the webinar concludes. Without further ado, let's get right into it. So my name is Malaysia. I'm a senior consultant with client services with Argano. I mostly work in supply chain modules. And with me, I have Elena. She's a senior consultant finance. And she specializes in all the finance stuff. Today's presentation, we have broken it down between supply chain and finance. So first we will go through the supply chain features, and then we'll hand it over to Alina to cover the finance portion of the slides. Right, so we'll start with the supply chain management, the new features included in this release. The first one is within the production control module. Generate license plate and print labels for MES integrations. So this one is applicable if you guys have outside MES software, which you have integrated into D365 to bring your production postings. Like you can have like start the production order and like record everything in D365 is as it happens in MES. So within that, now you can generate a license plate and print labels as part of the report as finished process update in D365 with MES integration. So print label message now can be included within the report as finished message. So now you can see in the screenshot over there as part of your message coming from MES to D365 about the report is finished, you can now include a print label step in it. Next one is the use external item identifiers to add products to the order. This one is for sales and marketing module. So this feature enables the lookup-based search for external item identifier field on the sales order line. When you are adding an item to a sales order, you can search for it using its external identifier or external description name. You can define the external item identifier and description for each customer, allowing you to use the customer terminology when adding to the product. So this feature can be enabled by feature management called enable look-based search for sales external identifiers field. This can be helpful in scenarios where you are taking calls, you are taking sales orders over the call or email where a customer is specifying the items the item names or the numbers they use, and you can have that. And then you can, on the sales order line, you can add this field called external. And then you can type in the customer's item number or the description, and it will populate your related D365 item number. So really good feature if you have a use for it. Next one, record and view container line packing details. So this one is in the warehouse management module. Again, this will be enabled by the feature management. So when worker uses the warehouse management mobile app to pack items into the container, the system can record container line packing details, such as worker ID and packed quantities. This functionality can be useful. For example, if you have multiple workers processing a container line and you want to keep a track of who did what. So once this feature is turned on, you will get a new toggle under warehouse management parameters called create container line packing details. You can turn that on. And once you have that, your details, packing details would be stored, and then it can be viewed on the containers form under the container contents. So on the screenshot on the right, we can see here that now we have a new field added called container lines packing details. Again, this would be useful if you are using containerization using mobile device menu items. Next one. So this one is still in a preview phase, but we just like to bring that up now because this would apply to all the customers who are using warehouse management mobile app. So Microsoft had come out with a new version of the app called V4. Moves the app to the modern foundation. With this foundation, the app delivers multiple feature benefits and improvements. In version 4, the warehouse management mobile app moved from Xamarin to React Native technology. With this change, you get a richer and more advanced mobile experiences, faster updates, and innovative feature that evolves with your business needs. This version includes a variety of color themes and sound options for personalized experience, advanced camera-based barcode scanner for faster, more accurate scanning, performance enhancement for smoother operation, improved network resilience to keep you connected in challenging conditions, and built-in Wi-Fi self-diagnostic to help troubleshoot connectivity issues on the go. Um, this app is already out for beta testing. So if you do want to get ahead, you can download this one, and it would be available uh, in for Windows download later this year. So and there is a different release dates for Android and Apple devices. So depending on what device you are using, you'll be able to download that later this year. Okay. Moving on to the feature enhancements. So these are the features which came in prior releases, but now there has been included as part of this release. So enable calculation. The first one is in procurement and sourcing module. So feature is enable calculation of the earliest confirmed receipt date for vendor collaboration. So this feature displays the earliest confirmed receipt date for purchase order responses. The value is calculated based on the confirmed receipt date for the purchase order response line. So this one would be a good one if you guys are using vendor collaboration. Next one is to remove the vendors from the RFQ after bid is sent or received. So this feature lets you remove the vendor from RFQ after a bid has been sent to or received from the vendor. When removing a vendor, you can optionally send an email notification to inform them of the removal. Once removed, the vendor can no longer access the RFQ in the supply portal. However, the purchase manager can re-add the vendor to the RFQ at any time, as long as the RFQ has not been accepted or rejected. This provides added control and flexibility during the RFQ evaluation process. Next one, this one is in the shared AP and AR. So this feature is shared to both places, both modules. Rebate processing using the multiple batch task. So this feature provides the capability that rebates be processed in batch with multiple batch tasks running at the same time. This makes the rebate calculation process run faster. So definitely worth visit if you guys have a rebate as part of your process. Next one is in production control module, enhanced numpad control for production floor execution interface. So this feature is a technical improvement of the control that represents the numpad in the production floor execution interface. It changes the control from being an element of a type string to type real, which makes the decimal separator consistent with regards to the regional settings. Next, this are the preview features that are now became generally available. So we'll just have a glance at those. So the first one is approved customer list. This one is in the accounts receivable. So this feature allows administrator to set up rules that restrict the sale of a specific product to the specific customer. This feature applies to the sales orders, sales quotations, and sales agreements. So as part of the process of setting up customer item relationship, you can set up a type of a relationship. The following types are available. A customer is authorized to buy a specific item. A specified customer is authorized to buy an item in a specific item group. A customer group is authorized to buy a specific item, and a customer group is authorized to buy an item in a specific item group. A relation of this type is known as group-to-group relationship. So on the right in the screenshot, you can see that now you have a new form called approver customer list. And here you can set up whether if a customer can buy a specific item or not. So like, for example, here we have Summit 225 item, which is allowed for all the customer, but then we have a TX per brew, which is only allowed for the customer 001. So when we go to enter sales order for customer 001, and we put in an item which is not part of it, we'll get an error message. So here is that screenshot. So I have a customer and putting in an item which I do not have in the approved list. So on the top, you can see that a customer code this is not authorized for this particular item. So a good control feature if you have a requirement of that. Now you have a different check methods available. You can have a no check, so where no validation is done. Therefore, any customer or item that you select is allowed. Then you have a warning only. So in this case, a warning message is shown, but you can continue with the transaction. And the last one is not allowed. So an error message is shown and you are prevented from continuing this transaction. So in this particular screenshot, which I have here, we had a check method of not allowed. So when we entered the item on the sales order, we got a big red warning saying that, this particular item cannot be sold to this customer. Next one is the advanced quality management. This one is in the inventory and warehouse management module. This one is enhanced version of the existing quality management. We have more features and options now available as part of the quality management process. So the base quality management still stays the same, but now you have more features available within that. So this advanced quality integrates with the advanced quality capabilities through our supply chain management solution. Key features, optimized testing strategy. So you can have flexible sampling plans. You can now skip a lot testing, new quality order triggers, and return calibration. So right now we only have like triggers on like report as finished, purchase order registration, stuff like that. And now with this new features, there are more quality order triggers such as return orders and stuff like that. You can even skip lot testing if you think that you don't need to test a particular item for a vendor. from the vendor or something like that, rather than making a change to the setup itself. Regulatory compliances. So now you can have a customer specific certificate of analysis and enhancement to electronic signatures. Digitalized manufacturing for precision and compliance, electronic batch records. So now you do have electronic batch records feature available in D365. Continuous improvement and risk mitigation, corrective and preventive actions, kappa management, and enhancement to non-conformances. The last one is the enhanced user experience, so simplifies entry of quality test results and new workspace for quality management. So these were all features which were slowly coming in, but were in previous state, which has now become for general availability. So if you if you have a use for any of these, you can start implementing now in your systems. Next one is the pair transfer order lines with the sales order lines. This one is again in the inventory and warehouse management. So this feature provides the capability to link between the transfer order line and the corresponding sales order line from which the transfer order line is created. It allows user to add the new transfer order line to an open transfer order given specified warehouse are the same. You can automatically reserve transfer order quantities for the transfer order that were created from. This reservation prevents these quantity from being used to fulfill another sales order by mistake. For this functionality to work, the following conditions must be met. The reserve items automatically option must be set to yes when the transfer order line is created from the sales order line. The invented transaction for the related sales order line and the transfer order line must be marked together automatically. Automatic marking is supported for all non-settled items. Next one is the dispense management. So this one is in the production control. So when working with hazardous material or sensitive components in the production process, accurate dispensing of material is crucial. It helps minimize the risk of contamination, preserves the integrity of the materials, and ensure the safety of both the product and the personnel. So this feature allows users to separate dispensing activities from the picking activities, ensuring effective management of controlled and regulated products. It supports overpicking with residual products returned to the inventory, identifies item needing dispensing control, and required authorized personnel for dispensing. Additionally, it captures electronic signatures for dispensing postings, established dispensing tolerance parameters, and generates picklets dispensing tickets at production release and allows issue more than the proposed quantity. Next one, it's over to Alina for the finance presentation.
Yes, hi everyone. So as Malay said, I will present today finance part, finance what's new part, and I will share my screen. 1 second. I want to start today with the first features for asset leasing. And in D365, we have separate module for asset leasing. Not many clients use this module, but for those who are using Microsoft in this release, implemented new workflow. This workflow for lease impairment. And then, for example, if you do configurations for this workflow, when you will click on the impairment button, before you can post, the system will also show you workflow. So before posting, you will need to go through the workflow process for leasing payment. And also another features for this module is asset leasing journal description. So basically, yeah, this feature will prevent posting the asset leasing journal without a mandatory description. So with this feature, yeah, you always need to have description for journals. And another feature, it's about lease termination triggers fixed asset posting. So this feature automates the posting of lease termination transactions to the fixed asset subledger. And another feature in this release related to cash and bank management module. If you use advanced bank reconciliation, you should be aware about matching rules. So this one feature, automatic vendor account matching, it's this feature related to matching rule for generating vendor payment journals. And then if, for example, you create matching rules with this type, there will be available option, automatic vendor account matching. And then, for example, if you set this new parameter to yes, basically bank reconciliation rule of type generate vendor payment will allow you auto search of vendor account based on the match of international bank account number and bank account number fields in the vendor master data with the information on bank statement lines. And then, for example, I can't say that it's really critical, but if for some reason you want to, at some point, to disable this feature, so yeah, this feature can be disabled if there are any existing active bank reconciliation matching rules of the type general vendor payment that have a toggle auto search for vendor account yes. So then it means that first you will need to or deactivate this matching rules with this type and configuration, or delete these rules, and after that you can disable this functionality. But yeah, I don't see this as a critical moment, but just to just be aware about this point. And another feature in this release, optimize auto settlement. So, for example, you have auto settlement and in accounts receivable and in accounts payable modules. If you turn on this configuration, system will automatically settle, for example, vendor payments with vendor invoice, and same for on customer side. And this feature will optimize this process. It's kind of background process, so you will not see anything going on like in interface. But if you turn on this functionality, then you will optimize the auto settlement process performance for customer and vendor transactions. And yeah, it makes sense to use this functionality first. Yeah, if you use auto settlement at all, and then yeah, if you have a big amount of transactions, so it will affect performance of the system in a nice way. One of the features that was included in this release, it's a customer invoice login framework for sales order and free text invoice history tracking. Microsoft added two new options in the customer invoicing workspace. So first one for sales orders invoices, and the second one for free text invoice. And if you use workspace customer invoicing, you can use also this new functionality. And on these tabs, you will see the information about different, for example, if you run a batch for free text invoice posting, and then for some reason this batch will fail, you will see some details like execution date and also errors. And also you will be able to go to My Batch Jobs and see the details, like what, for example, issues cause this error, and etc. And yeah, I think we can go to the next feature. So this feature also in preview state, and this feature related to fixed asset module. And by enabling this feature, you can enforce consistent posting days for catch-up depreciation transactions within the fixed asset depreciation proposal. So, for example, if you turn on this new functionality, when you run depreciation proposal for fixed asset, it will work only when you set summarize depreciation checkbox to yes. Then if this checkbox set to yes, another field will occur, post journals, and then yeah, you will be able to use this functionality. So yeah, this new functionality works only with the summarized depreciation option. And then, for example, when this checkbox is activated, the posting date will always align with the defined depreciation to date. And then, for example, if the defined to date is not at the end of the depreciation period, the system automatically defaults to the last day of the previous period. And then basically this functionality is particularly used for catch-up depreciation, ensuring that adjustments for prior periods are posted clearly on a single uniform date, like rather than being distributed across multiple dates. This feature I would like to show you also in D365. So it's related to ledger settlements functionality. Also, I would say this functionality is not popular within our clients, but still I know that some of our clients uses ledger settlement functionality. And then for those who are not aware about what is ledger settlement functionality, it's basically the process of matching debit and credit transactions in the general ledger. And then the settlement of the debit and credit amounts is used to reconcile the balance of the ledger accounts with detailed transactions that make up that balance. And if you use this functionality, ledger settlements, sometimes, for example, yeah, you can have some issues. Let's say when you close, when you run a year-end close process, and then, for example, if you have some issues with these ledger settlements, you will receive the error during this process. And it can be like, for example, one of the common issues, it can be like when the transactions simply have different dates. I will show you what I mean. So this is completely new form in D365 out of balance ledger settlements. And I can select the parameter, let's say, I think this year, 25. And then I click show ledger settlements and system show me some kind of problematic, let's say, or not problematic, but transactions with issues. And then if I click settlement ID, I can see details, but for now I see the date when these transactions were settled, the total balance amount in accounting currency and in reporting currency. And then if I go to settlement ID, I can see that the date, for example, is different. So like for first transactions, it's in 2024 year. And for second one, it's for 2025 year. And then yeah, basically, if you have this cross-year ledger settlements, system will show you error during the end year-end process. So in this case, basically, yeah, the solution will be to reverse this transaction because because they are in different years. Also, I want to say that it's also configuration. So in general ledger parameters, you have this configuration enable advanced awareness option. And then, for example, if you set this configuration to yes, then system will check settlements if they are in the same year or different years. And then, yeah, like system will show you the error. But then, for example, if you set this parameter to no, system will not check that year is different, and then system will allow to post you transactions even like if you have like let's say like this example, one transaction in 2024 and another one in 2025. So there are also some possible other issues with settlement and can cause out of balance ledger settlements. So it's nice if you use ledger settlements functionality. It's a nice form to check before running year and close process any potential issues with these transactions. So I will go back to my presentation and another two features, it's flights. And then you can, if you want to use these flights, you can contact support. So Microsoft will run these flights for you. The first one is check for highly variable dimensions. And this is already ready flight, not in preview stage, because the next one that I will speak about is in preview stage. So this one you can already use. And then what is basically like highly variable dimensions? So it's a financial dimensions that is characterized by values that are not used, and then either individually or in combination with the other values. So like the original idea for financial dimensions, they are like basically designed for values that persist for years. And therefore, issues with highly variable dimensions typically occur when values are used for only days or weeks. So the examples of such dimensions can be like some document numbers, sales or purchase order IDs, or it can be like serial numbers. So like this type of dimensions, they are not useful for financial analysis, such as profit and loss statements or trial balance. And yeah, if you want to use such kind of dimensions, we recommend you to consider another functionality, financial text. So that's not financial dimensions, but more for yeah. So basically, this is another functionality, and for such cases, you can like we suggest to use financial tech functionality. And yeah, basically, if you have such highly variable dimensions, it can cause some issues again with year-end close process or consolidation or general ledger currency revaluation and or trial balance. If you want to check this highly variable dimensions, you can use this flight. And our recommendations to get basically avoid high variable dimensions. For example, customer accounts or document numbers, because they can create excessive combinations, strain performance, and inflate data storage cost. So another one flight, it's about split and transfer fixed assets between legal entities, and this flight in a preview stage. But I think this flight can be useful because lots of clients actually requested functionality to transfer fixed assets between, like, from one legal entity to another legal entity. And now in D365, it's quite a manual process. And this feature allows user to split and transfer assets between legal entities by selecting the source assets and their books, previewing key financial details such as acquisition cost, accumulated depreciation, and net book value. And so the last features for this demo is about subscription billing module. And the first feature, backfill journal information for deferral schedule lines from ledger journal transactions. Yes, this feature about data maintenance, it's kind of background process. So you can, yeah, if you can check the description for this, but basically, yeah, you can see this in interface. The objective of this feature is to ensure data consistency and completeness by establishing accurate journal linkage for each deferral schedule line. And two more features for subscription billing module, they are in preview, but both of them related to deferral COGS adjustment. So this one is in general, but the second one is related to projects. And then this feature automatically adjusts the cost of goods sold for subscription billing deferral schedules. It works through a background automation process. When the inventory closing or recalculation process runs, the related consumption deferral schedules are updated to reflect any changes in the original cost. And these updates happened asynchronously and follow an eventually consistent model. Yeah, the same feature is related, same functionality, but related to subscription billings that related to projects. I also included in this demo features turned on by default in this release. So I think, yeah, after this meeting, you will receive this presentation. So I wanted you to have this list, and you can see what features were turned off by default and what features they are mandatory now. I don't see like a big impact of this feature on the system, but yeah, I think you can just go through the list and potentially there is some functionality that you use. For now. So yeah, that's it from finance part in this release, 45 release. Thank you for your attention for attending this demo. And yeah, I will check now the chat. Potentially, maybe you have some questions, and we would be happy to answer on your questions. So yeah, for now, I think I don't see any questions in our chat, but I think we can wait, I know, 1 minute more